a bunch of Israelites. Broad is the way, right? Broad is the way that leads to destruction. And many there be that find it. Don't be getting so high and mighty over your numbers. There's going to be 2 times as many wicked Israelites as there's going to be those that are righteous. And that's all it is to it. And there's no way around it. So if you're in a congregation that got all the thousands and thousands of followers, you better check yourself. The Lord ain't dealing with the masses like that. But we know that won't be well received. But even if it's not, we don't give a damn. It is what it is. Let's go to Jude now. This is Jude 1, and it's only 1 chapter. It says right here, Jude, and we'll start at verse 11. It says, woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain, and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward, and perished in the gainsaying of Cor. Now, you got a lot of people that are like that. In history, if you look at these characters, Cain killed his own brother. This guy, Balaam and Balak, right, wanted to put a curse on the house of Israel. And then these guys, Korah, Abiram, and Dathan, they were rebels, and they were gainsayers, and they perished. Right? They perished. The Most High opened up the ground and swallowed them and their houses up. So this is not good company to be in right here among these people. But it's talking about Israelites. If you read up into the chapter, woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain, and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward, of Balaam, however you want to say it, and perished in the gainsaying of Korah. These are spots in your feasts of charity when they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear. And you got Jake that come among us, want to eat from the same, you want to get this spiritual edification, you want to get fed over here, but you'll go right on to Sakari them, knowing they teach a different doctrine. Let me tell you this, man. Sakari them, they teach a different doctrine than Great Millstone. Sure, they used to be a part of Great Millstone, the leaders did. Sure, they used to teach the 100% truth, but now they don't. Anytime you want to start going and having debates, and you want to go deal with the black conscious community and come together with them, you want to label yourself as a black identity extremist, you want to say that tuna is unclean, you're saying that we ain't going to live for forever, we're not going to be immortals, that we're going to live for 1,000 years, then die. And every time you say that the word of the Most High is not in the Bible, but the word of the Most High is not the Bible, but it's found in the Bible, when you go against the writings of Paul, all these things is a different doctrine. They're going further and further left field. Now you can keep the law 100%. Meanwhile, you was breaking the commandments, breaking the law with fringes on during your Passover, which you got repented for, but we can still say it. That ain't off to you. It's not off you. How said when you go to camp, right? Or not when you go to camp. He said when you're going out. When he's sitting the men out, he said, what did he say? Take not staves, which are weapons, but they go and they pack heat at camp. Why they got on the fringes? That's a direct commandment that they broke from the Lord's own mouth. You don't understand that? And there are other things. Hip-hop, mixing hip-hop with the truth. That's going off. That's completely going off. But, yep, the unity camps, oh my Lord. The elder brother said, the unity camp, unity camp in Dallas, Texas, with one body in Yahushua. Who doesn't even believe that Yahushua even did miracles? There's so many things wrong with that group over there. But you people love it. You love it because they're popular, because they introduce carnality, let you be rappers or whatever. They're a little bit street, and you like that because they don't want to let go of the world. But we told you. Just humbly, we ask, if you want to follow Sakari, just go ahead. No problem. Just stay away from us. Just don't come around us. Let them answer your questions. Let them deal with everything. You got it over there. You good. You watch these other groups, Big Judah, Seed of Israel, what's the other guy named? Mike Malice. Just watch them. We all right with it. We're going to see. We're going to see. So again in Jude 1:12, these are spots in your feast of charity when they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear. Look how they're being described. Clouds they are without water. Carried about of winds. What winds? Every wind of doctrine. Trees whose fruit withereth, without fruit. Twice dead, plucked up by the roots. How can you be twice dead? You were dead once in the world in sin and iniquity, right? You were quickened by the Heavenly Father, and then your ass went back to sleep, and you became plucked up by the roots. Raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame, wandering stars. What are you doing? You look into Revelation, the crown of 12 stars were Israelites, right, with the 12 tribes. If you were wandering stars, you were all over the place. You wandering, right? You all in outer darkness, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. you're going to be darkened. Your understanding is going to be darkened. And they mentioned up here, carried about the winds, them different doctrines, them different groups, well, watching everybody. It's, hey, you ain't going to be able to defeat what's in the scriptures. You think you're going to be able to watch everybody and come up with a super doctrine? It's not going to work. You're going to short circuit and your ass will bug out. It says, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, behold, the Lord with 10,000 of his saints to execute judgment upon all and convince all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly speeches which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Let me read that again. To execute judgment upon all and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. And the Lord is coming to execute judgment upon those that are doing that. Yep, and I just really thought about it. The thought came to me that the reason why a lot of these women are restless like that, and they're going on different comment boards, because they have been told over here, you can't be heard. We don't want it. You don't got nothing to say. Some other congregations, they allow a little bit of them women to speak here and there. They all over. If you go to the Sakari comment board, women on there making all kinds of comments. You go to IUIC, women all over them comment boards making comments. So you're allowed to do what you want to do, but you're not being fair properly. So in order to get that edification, you run back to Great Millstone. Then your ass forget that you've been watching other congregations and you act out some of that rebellion over here with us, and it causes a ripple effect. But you know what? Lord willing, man, YouTube, they keep on messing with this thing to the point we can make our videos where you can't even watch them, you know? And, you know, I say that lightly. Now I want to read this. This is Arrows of Indignation, Jeremiah 3:1. It says, they say, if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return to her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers. Yet return again to me, said the Lord. And we did that as a people. And that's what Jake is doing again now. You go and watch these other groups, you commit spiritual fornication against the Lord, and then you get confused. If you, some of you will remember the girl that was having a dream. Don't remember her name. But she started getting proud. And then she started bucking up saying that women can teach. One of the brothers described her as oily with no oil, which was a great analogy, a great saying, right? And that chick bugged out right away. Who's seen her since then? He completely fell out of, you know, just taken away. You see, you got to be careful, because sometimes people, over a period of time, they bug out. Sometimes they bug out right away, and it has an immediate effect on them. So just be careful. Just because you can click on buttons and go on different Israelite videos, well, Great Millstone said this, I know it was lying or whatever, that don't mean that the way back is going to be the same. Hey, at some point, doors do close behind you. And it's a spiritual thing. It's a very spiritual thing. So be careful. When you go on these other Israelite groups, comment boards, you watch their videos, you can't say for sure that your mind, your understanding is not going to be clouded by going to watch them. You know, I've witnessed my own self. I didn't physically see the demons, but if you watch other certain groups, sometimes you can feel the pull of the evil spirit. You might have it might be something as small as you may have a headache when you watch them. You may find yourself very agitated when you watch them. It may be hard for you to sleep that night, because it's everything. This stuff is spiritual. It's very heavy vibes coming through these videos, like the powerful edification coming from Great Millstone, or the pride coming through the IUIC, you know, videos or whatever. That stuff, it will start to change you. Satan have your ass thinking that something is true that's not true. Be very careful. The scriptures don't warn time and again over being blown about with every wind of doctrine, and it's not serious. It's a serious thing. And this is part of the reason why so many Israelites are bugged out and bugging out, because you're watching too many groups. You're watching too many different doctrines. You're trying to digest all of that. And when you see too many things, it's called sensory overload, or I think that's what it's called. Same thing in the truth. You're getting a spiritual overload and you can't handle it. Your ass wind up short-circuiting and it does not compute. Then what's going to happen? You're going to be through. And you're going to come to us and you're going to want us to help you, and we ain't going to be able to help you. We're not going to be able to help you. So I want to read this, and the elder brother had put this up. Elder Carazas had put this up. I'm going to read this. You've got a scripture here now. GMS Vegas sit downs. 1 Corinthians 15:33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. You will be corrupted